What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us on So I Was in This House. I am your host. My name is Everett Lapel, and I have some really cool news to announce for this week. I got some, I don't know, I guess it was like a PR company or something like that, and I was approached by, I guess they were like, I don't know, they were trying to give me like, anyway, so they ran statistics on like Apple Podcasts and the different things. And I was ranked number 24 overall in contractor conversations, contractor interviews on all of Apple Podcasts in the whole interwebs. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really cool. I'm really happy and proud about that. I would never think that I'd be in the top 500 contractor interviews, let alone the top 25. So pretty neat. I'm pretty excited about it. It'll only get better. I have some pretty interesting announcements to make coming up on, just future posts, potential partnerships, and I'm very excited about it. So I actually put a post out this week that was I was very interested in hearing about like long form stories, like things that like sort of weird and wonky things that have happened in our industry, in the home services world in general, in people's houses. And someone had submitted a story that was like absolutely like mind blowing, and I thought it was really really cool. And I'm going to save it, but here's the thing: if you're listening to this, PM me and send me, or or you can respond to one of the posts, but PM me and send me directly any sort of. I'm going to do a compilation where I'm going to have a bunch of stories that are going to be read. And I'm going to probably bring on maybe a panel of people too, and have like, like a sort of like really cool stories. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever seen like Mr. Ballin. Like he does these things where he does these like short storytellings. They're like a couple of minutes long, but like you'll listen to a story and he'll start with the date. He'll be like, October 12th, 1994, like this and this thing happened or whatever. And it was actually pretty cool. And I like the format. And that was kind of like the heart of the beginning of this podcast, was just telling stories. So I really thought it would be really interesting. And I'm really looking for some really cool long form stories with details of just something odd or strange that happened while out and about on, in our travels, or, in the world of, service sales and visiting other people's homes. So I'm excited about that prospect. So yeah, number 24 contractor interview podcast. You're listening to him right here, live. Okay. Our guest today approached me. Very interesting dude. His name is Brian Addeo. I think it's Addeo. Maybe it's Addeo. I think it's Addeo. I'm going to bring him on here and I'm going to let him introduce himself. But Brian is in the generator world, but he's in the portable generator world, and he does, like, he's certified in like 65 different things. He's basically, I mean, the guy single-handedly created just a really cool business, and I was fascinated listening to him, but I'll let him talk more. So Brian, tell us about yourself, what you've done there in Florida, and all about yourself.
Cool. So yeah, it's Addeo. But I created portable generator services 5 years ago. About 10 years ago, my mom was like, "You're not doing anything with your life. You need to get a skill." She's like, "I'm signing you up for a trade. Pick one." I chose the electrical industry. 2 years in, you needed a job. I literally was like, I'm going to just go find, I typed in on Google electrical company near me and chose the top one. And believe it or not, it was a generator install company. and started as a helper doing installs for standby units at all of the homes. Got, became the highest rated employee, and they were like, oh, we're going to cross train you and you can do service. And then that led to me going to commercial, learning, liquid propane, natural gas, then going to diesel, working on bigger units, and then, working at multiple industrial style companies, learning as much as I can. I kind of did the whole, like, every 2 years I jumped ship, just more so for money, but also to learn different manufacturers. I don't know how it is in the HVAC industry, but, generators, most companies are a dealer for just one or two manufacturers, and every dealer has different stuff, different ways of troubleshooting, different controllers, all of that stuff. And
no, that's true. I don't think people find as much of a contrast moving from an HVAC, moving from company to company than you did jumping from, doing the, trying to learn the other generators. So the company that you originally worked for was a full, like,
install.
resident, like full blown installs, not, and then so you got obsessive, and you started to learn all the different generators and the types of generators.
Yeah, so I got crazy obsessed with it, man. And I'm like, dude, what can I do to, like, learn more? And so, I joined the groups, and we had an issue with manuals, finding manual documentation for older generators. And I had some, like, older military guys reach out, and they're like, hey, I've got 60 gigabytes worth of manuals on a hard drive. Another guy's like, I got 100 gigs. And I'm like, send it to me. I'll pay for the, hard drive or whatever. And then I created a group, the Generator Engine Manual File /support group, to help kind of make a database so that all of the technicians could access it and look up manuals for any engine that they wanted. And that, started growing. We've got 4,000 members in there. And I don't know how the HVAC industry is, but the generator industry is just amazing. It's all like one brotherhood. We all help each other out. We're all there to learn. And so, I use that to my advantage in a way. I picked out the smartest people, and I talk to them daily, and it just evolved into, creating my own business in a way.
Yeah. I don't know why when you talk, there's like a crackling, and I'm not sure exact. Yeah. I don't know why that is. Maybe bring the laptop a little, or well, we'll figure that out. But so wait, so I have a question. So when you started doing these manuals, and putting together like these, terabytes of manuals, what year was this? Because I would imagine you could just Google any or maybe it's not as accessible. Maybe it's not, because some of those portables are so rare to find. They don't have the manuals readily accessible online.
So I do portables, but I also do industrial, commercial. Like, portables are just more so for the hurricane season. After hurricane season, I don't do any portables, and I'm just doing my contracts, standby units for residential, just doing their yearly or twice a year maintenance, or commercial contracts, doing the oil changes or load banking. So I do it all in a way. But yeah, it's hard to find manuals online.
Interesting.
Like Cummins, you've got to make an account, and even if you make an account, you can only search for 3 manuals unless you're like a dealer. So it's very, like, guarded in a way. They try and keep the manuals away from other technicians so that you can't look it up and you have to call that manufacturer.
And some of these are diesel generators that are just sitting on plants, right? So do you find a lot of dual fuel generators out there?
Not for the bigger stuff. The portables, they will have a dual fuel, whether it's gasoline, and then you can use liquid propane or natural gas. They'll have the tri-fuel ones, which is gas, propane, or natural gas. But for the bigger stuff, commercial or even residential, you're not going to find. Stop. You're not going to. Let me go put them away real quick. Hold on. Or can I leave?
Yeah, all right. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. We've done it, dude. I've recorded podcasts literally from on a boat. So
come here. So Residential, you have the choice of liquid propane or natural gas, and you can just choose. When you get into commercial or industrial, it's strictly just one fuel source for the most part.
Yeah.
It's
And
diesel.
do you service, do you think you service mostly the natural, the residential, or are you leaning more towards commercial or what?
I didn't want to do residential. I was kind of like, when I started my business doing the portables, I was like, all right, during hurricane season, portables are the way to go. No one wants to work on them. I charge $250. I go to their house, and I even say, if I don't fix it, you don't pay. It's $250. I come to you, change the oil, the spark plug, the air filter, rebuild the carburetor. But I mean, think about it. That's 1 quart of oil. A spark plug's like $1 when you buy a 50 or a 100 pack. And the carburetor takes 10 minutes to clean if you get good at it. And so I'm like, during hurricane season, I'll have 4 appointments every day. I'm booked 2 weeks out right now. And then after hurricane season, I was like, I don't want residential. I want the big stuff.
Yeah. Hey, so I know, I think you, two things. So one, I think you got your phone on some kind of something or other. I don't know if you want to grab it. It's not a big deal, but like if for some reason it keeps crackling. But that's neither here nor so that's very interesting to me. So you will go out there. So this is why it seems so interesting to me, because a portable generator you can probably buy, I don't know, like let's say I don't know, a 5,500 watt portable generator for, I don't know, $1,000 or something like that. So it's interesting. Like, I guess it makes sense, right? I mean, instead of spending $1,000 or whatever, or $1,500 on a new generator, they'll go ahead and hire you to fix it for $250. That's actually pretty cool. And you're busy, so that's good. It's a good little niche. Nobody knows or wants to work on them. And funny, ironically enough, I've actually cleaned out those carbs, and I've taken that whole thing apart because I had a generator and it had like the fuel, because there's corn they were using in the fuels. It would like stick. It would stick in there. I'm getting a lot of feedback. So then I would clean it out, and it would be like an every year thing. And we used it probably more often than we probably should have. But yeah.
How bad is it?
Oh no, you're fine now.
Okay.
I
So yeah,
can,
you're right.
the only thing is I can hear myself. So it's like, because you've got me on like speed. That's why I always recommend the headphones. No big deal. Just turn down the volume and we're good. Yeah. Cause you don't have to hear yourself. You just have to hear me. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, that's literally what it comes down to, is those carbs get clogged, and you go out there, take the bowl off, use your little, carb cleaning poker tool, poke the main jet or take it out, and you're good to go. I mean, it's literally 99% of the jobs are fuel related from gas sitting in there for a year and going bad. And no one wants to work on them.
Do you roll up with a pump too, so that you can pump all that old fuel out too?
Yeah. So I've got a pump. I'll either do one of those, the siphon ones, because they really don't hold much fuel, right? They're only holding a couple gallons, really. I mean, you have some of the bigger ones that are like a 15 kW portable, which is literally the size of like a standby unit, but it's on wheels. That has, I think, like a 15-gallon tank. But yeah, I'll pump out the old fuel, we'll change the oil and start it up. We're good to go.
And so, but you're not a licensed electrician. You're not like installing the twist lock plugs or the external, like, no.
So no, I mean, I have done that. It's kind of a gray area down here. I've had people call electrical companies and they won't even get it permitted. They just install it. It's literally like a 30 or a 50 amp breaker plus the twist lock. So I don't do that anymore, just because of like the liability aspect in it.
Yeah. Now that you have a real business, you have a lot more to lose. So
yeah. So I tell customers to call a company and get a quote, and it's crazy that what they charge for that, though. I'm talking like $2-3 grand.
$2-3 grand. Yeah. Yeah. And they'll get it every day.
True.
Yeah, they'll get it every day. Well, okay, so it's $2-3 grand. And so our generator company in Tampa is like, I mean, they can't even keep up. There's so many calls that come through. Like, and that's, you're talking about whole home solutions that are, 15, 20,000 up, like liquid cooled double that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but this is what people want. They just want peace of mind. They want to have, they want to make sure that they're not stuck in the, this is and this is why I love being a part of this business. Generators are the next thing. They and it's not like, portables. Yeah, sure. Been around for a million years, right? Even whole house residential been around for a really long time. But the reality is that I give this analogy. Okay. 15 years ago, when I first 15, 16, 17 years ago, when I first started in this industry, everybody talked about how they were like, tankless are the dumbest things ever. Why would you, who cares? I have a tank in my house and it gives me hot water and it doesn't even matter. I'm good. Oh, so I have to wait a little bit for hot water. Big deal. Who cares? Now, every single new constructed house that I have seen has a tankless water heater. Not one house that I have seen has a standard tank style water heater. Not one. I have not seen one new constructed house. I might have seen one made a few years ago. Now, you might have people argue and they say, well, tank style are more reliable and blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Tank style are more reliable. But the reality is, right? So people are like, well, why do I need a whole house generator? Well, they said the same thing about garbage disposals too, right? Like
True.
35 years ago, no one had a garbage disposal either. Why do I need that? I could just go over to my sink and just go over to my garbage can and throw it out, so.
No, it's crazy. I mean, like you said, a whole home standby that's on the side of the house that's going to be on liquid propane or natural gas is going to be like, over here at least, you're looking at $15,000 to $20,000. You've got to install the fuel tank or the propane tank in the ground, unless you have natural gas ran to the house. 7 to 10K for an air cooled generator. If you're going liquid cooled, you're going into the $30,000 range. And I can offer a solution where you get an outlet installed for 2 or 3K, then you spend another 3 or 4K on a 15,000 watt dual fuel electric start portable, and you can run an AC, all your lights, your fans, your everything.
Yeah.
And so
I've had this conversation with people too, and I don't disagree with you. There comes a point in time. Okay, the average customer. Okay, Generac has a lot of these statistics. The average customer buying like a whole house natural gas generator or propane generator is in their 50s. That's the like minimum age of 58 years old or whatever, right? So there comes a point in time where they don't. I mean,
exactly.
I had a thread locally, and some guy went on there, and it was like a PSA, like, hey guys, I've got generators. If you need any help, just hit me up. And their whole home, whatever. And some guy was like, I could run your whole house off of a portable generator. I was like, yeah, that's true. Are you 78 years old and have like medical equipment in the house? Like, like people don't think like they're like,
True.
they want to go out there in a storm. Like at some point in time, you just don't care. You just want the generator. And I've met a lot of like, spouses who want to take care of the other spouse, typically like a dad or a father or grandfather even, who like wants to take care of their kids and their wife. And then they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead with the whole house. Cause if I'm not home, I travel a lot. I just want to make sure they're taken care of. So like my wife's not going to know how to go out there and put the twist lock plug on there, So, but I love what you're doing. Now you talk to me a lot about your strategy and go to market. And it's very interesting how you decided to, because the name of your company is basically a Google search, right? But before we talk about that, I have a question. What are all those stickers on your laptop?
They're just random stickers from, over time. Random stickers, dude. Police, like just everything. Fresh kitchen, just random shit, dude.
I like the van.
Where else do I put them?
You got a van sticker.
Gotta have a van sticker. Come on, man.
So tell us about, you have like an interesting strategy of how you get business, right?
So when I made my business, my LLC is my last name, Addeo Power Systems. And I don't know what I came across, but they were like, you want to look up whatever your industry is. You want to go on Google. You can go on to Google. I forget what it's called. You could literally just go on Google search and type in what are the keywords, what are the most searched words for HVAC industry, and you're gonna see, HVAC repair near me or quick HVAC repair. And so I did that for generators, and what popped up was portable generator services near me, portable generator repair near me, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I make my business name part of what everyone is typing in on Google? And basically get free free search results. And it worked out insane. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if it would work in every industry, but it does make sense, right? Like if I sold, like if I sold drums, right, I would just be like, drum kit near me. Like, oh man.
I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It
would work.
It would. I do think that there's some merit. I think that like I don't know if you're involved in some of these groups, like Dan Antonelli, who I interviewed, and he does like branding for different companies, right? If he was in the chat right now, he'd be like, no, but yeah. No. So portable generators, you think that's really cool. You get a lot of business on Facebook too, don't you?
I get most of my business through, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I go the route of posting on every social platform that you possibly can and just giving educational videos along with showcasing your daily jobs. I mean, check this out. I got someone from TikTok that reached out that worked for a municipality, and there's a 1 point something million deal going on right now. Just from a TikTok video, dude. Like, you just got to be actively posting.
Wait. You're saying you're bidding a $1 million job right now?
So I have a partnership with a company that I have handed that off to just because I'm a one-man band. I would make myself look like an idiot, and I wouldn't be able to give them the service that that they need and want. But yeah, that's going down right now.
You got that from posting a TikTok about how you fix portable generators?
Yes. Or, I work on all of the generators. So one day it's portables, one day it's a large diesel, one day it's electric vehicle charging stations. But yes, the guy reached out, we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I work for the city. We're sick of our current provider. Can you help us?
And he found you on TikTok.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Dude, that's so funny. By the way, and I want everybody to know this when they listen to this. You actually, because I was like, I'm poking and prodding on the internet, and you actually just freely gave me some. He was like, you were like, dude, join this group, check this out, like, take a look at that. And you were just like sort of freely giving information. And I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Like, it sounds to me like you freely give information and then you just like, it just comes back to you. You just like get the business out of it. Yeah.
Dude, like when I built the generator manual group, by doing that, like so many people were so thankful for that. And what does that bring me? Well, in that group, there's literally industrial techs for every manufacturer. If I need parts for any brand, all I do is go in our group and they're happy to help me. It's super important to have a good group of buddies that work in the industry that you can call for help, because I'm definitely not, perfect. I don't know everything. No one does. So I've got a buddy, John, that works on Generacs. I literally call him for any Generac issue that is stumping me. Throw him some money for helping me. I'm making money. He's making money. We're all happy. So yeah, man, it's definitely cool. Doing the whole trying to build, don't make your business like Brian's generator. Like, you want to have it something popular in the search to an extent. You know what I mean? It'll only help.
It does make sense. Can't start up my generator. What do I do? That'd be a good name of a company. Pulled the cord on my generator. It won't start. Fuel. I'm hearing a brrr, but no start.
Nah, listen, like, they're going to type in generator company near me. Honestly, I went and bought all of the websites. I bought generator repair company near me, generatorrepair.com. Like, I had 20 websites. That was when I first started. I'm too busy to be even dealing
Do
with
you have
that.
them as landing pages? Like if
I
somebody
was,
goes, yeah,
yeah.
and it goes to your website.
Yeah, I was doing that. I stopped it. I'm fine now. I've built up enough of a customer base where I'm not like dying for work.
But so
I've got enough.
but you framed it so that it's just you, like, but you could have gotten enough calls where it'd be you and other people, but you've just like, you could have other techs working for you. You'd have enough calls and business coming through. Why make that choice? I'm just curious. Cause it's a choice, right? Cause you could be much bigger than you are.
So it is a choice right now. I need to get a house first. And honestly, it's a choice of me just being nervous. I don't know. I'm scared to bring someone on that's not going to take care of the customers the way that I take care of them. It's really hard to find people that actually care about their job and want to treat the customers right. But it's more of just, I don't know where to start. I do it all. I don't have a receptionist or anything. I was trying to do the AI stuff for a while. I had an AI receptionist, and actually people were fooled by it and thought it was a real person.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the future. That's going to happen to an extent. It's got to get a lot better. No one can know it's a fake person if you're going to use it because they just don't want to deal with robots, right?
It's so real right now.
It
Like
is.
that you could not even tell half the time. Like it's crazy. I actually think that I had a conversation with an AI, and it took me until after I was done with the conversation and off the phone for me to realize, like, wait a minute,
It's crazy.
I don't think I had a conversation with a real person. Yeah.
You got to stay up to date on that too, man. I mean, if you see companies that are really big into the social media and making videos and stuff nowadays, like that's like literally the go-to thing. Every company is trying to advertise by posting on social media platforms.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's so noisy, and my take is that you'd have to make your content has to be meaningful enough for it to actually matter. One thing that I've seen a company do, which is really cool, is I think it's some kind of car dealership in like the Midwest, and he'll go so he walks around to all the different employees and he goes, "Hey Rachel, peaches come in a can." Do you know the next line?
No,
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 come on.
no.
And then he goes around to all the different people and it says their age at the bottom, and it says peaches come in a can, and then most people have no idea, and then one person will go knows the next lyric, or like a few people would know. It's they were put there by a man in a factory downtown. But so it was a song.
Oh,
So he'll pick like a song from like the 90s or 2000s or whatever it is, and he'll just start doing the lyrics and then say like if they can continue it or not, right? I've seen a bunch of them where like nobody knew what it was, and it was just like, some Akon song that nobody really recognized from like 2002, but then when you really thought about it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that song.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he did one where it was all right, stop, and then and people
All right, stop. Wait a minute. Yeah. I mean,
wait,
if you're doing
no,
fun stuff like that,
it was collaborate and listen, and it was Vanilla Ice, right? But so what was funny was that the 19-year-old mechanic actually knew the lyrics of the song, and like no one else did. Everybody was like they couldn't tell. Dude, good conversation. Actually, I got a sponsor. They're amazing. They've been amazing for a long time. Cooper and Hunter, they sell VRF, VRV, HVAC equipment, ductless mini split systems. They're an incredible company. They're really lucky because they're actually the sponsor of the Florida Panthers, who just won the Stanley Cup twice. And they're the sponsor of the New York Yankees, a perennial winning, organization. But I think that's amazing that they happen to be a sponsor of a team that has won 2 Stanley Cups since 2000. And I made a post about it because I'm like, just imagine you decided to sponsor a team that was near some of your major distribution, and then that team goes on to win a couple Stanley Cups. That it's incredible, like serendipity, right? Like you could sponsor 30 NHL teams.
True.
So they have this video here. We're gonna watch it.
Cooper & Hunter's new peak unit runs efficiently up to 19 SEER 2 with BTU capacity that ranges between 18 to 55,000 for indoor and outdoor units. Compared to a traditional gas furnace, Peak's revolutionary design is ready to step in without a hassle thanks to its adaptive multi-voltage. True high-performance hyper units provide a 100% heating output at negative 13 degrees. Looking inside the unit, the new M-coil is highly efficient and provides a better airflow that reflects in a higher static pressure. Our Smart Kit is included, giving you access to control your device from the comfort of your phone. Peak stands for powerful, efficient, auto voltage detection, and quiet. To learn more, visit our website or talk to your local distributor. Cooper & Hunter, addicted to comfort.
That's a cool commercial or whatever. That's pretty cool. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
It is pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. It is pretty cool. So tell me, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you on this journey of generators here?
I mean, I've had a couple of crazy things. So like my second year in the industry, or like the second company that I joined, I went from doing residential and I got my feet wet with the whole commercial thing, right? And I'm sure all of us can relate to the manager at that company had no idea about generators, right? He worked at the generator company, had no ideas. Anyways, he hooks up my trailer to my truck and doesn't put the hitch on right. I've never towed before. And he's like, all right, I'll help you. He put the trailer on the hitch and didn't actually lock it down. I'm driving around trying to get on 95. I hit a bump and the trailer comes off the hitch, dude. Imagine going down 95, 65 miles an hour and that thing falling off. Like,
wow,
absolutely ridiculous.
Were you able to salvage the, like,
it wasn't bad.
Okay.
It nosedived. I wasn't going too fast. I was able to, lift it up and reconnect it and make sure it was right.
Yeah. Dude, I blew a tire of a boat trailer with the boat on it when I towed. So I bought a boat like years ago and it was older, but like it had been sitting out in the Texas sun, but it was unused. It hadn't been used. It was in storage. I didn't even think about it. The tires looked okay. Well, I guess, they were sort of weather worn.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that they were like dry rotted, and at like 75 miles an hour, it had a blowout with the tire on it. So now changing the tire of a boat trailer on the side of the highway.
That's not fun.
No, it's pretty crazy. So there's one question I ask on every episode, and I don't know why there's this crazy crackling coming from your. Yeah, I turned you down for a second, but what is the what is one customer experience, customer interaction, okay, that lives with you, that wherever you go, you carry that experience with you? And I've heard a variety of things over the last 2 years or so of doing this. I'd be interested to hear yours. You probably meet a lot of people.
I mean, so it's hard to really say. I mean, one thing that happened to me is I was really trying to help out like veterans or anyone that was sick or cancer patients. And if I knew that they were sick, I would make sure that their generator worked. If they couldn't, afford it, I would do it for free. And one customer was down in Miami. I was working on his Honda 3000. I had it in the back of my truck. A hurricane was coming. He was scared. It was 8:00 at night. And I'm like, can I drop it off tomorrow? He's like, man, I really would just like it tonight. And I drive down there and I'm getting it out of my truck and I slip on my truck. And as I'm falling out of the truck bed, I grab the generator and that ends up falling off of my truck, landing on my thumb and crushing my thumb, dude. And so
Oh,
my thumb was, I don't know if you can see it. I had to get a steel rod put in it. It's massive. It's like,
wow.
and the guy's like, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I'm like, no, like, I don't have insurance. This is going to cost me. So this is right when I first started my business. So anyways, I go to the hospital, $15,000 later, yeah, man. And so one thing that I keep with it is you can try and help people, but you really got to help yourself first. Don't, if you're tired, like I was so tired, man, I worked all day. You can do your best to help people, but you need to make sure that you're helping yourself first. Take care of yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's like a cautionary tale. I thought you were going to say, dude was like, so thankful you got there and you find out that there was, there was, I don't know, some kind of medical incident. So basically you, hopefully you were able to settle on some of that medical debt, man. That sucks, dude.
Nah, man, I've been paying it and just, yeah, dude.
You need to fix a hell of a lot more generators, man.
This was years ago, but yeah, that happened. Another cool situation. I don't have any like life-changing things that you're kind of asking about, but I did meet a customer that was like, oh, my son does CCTVs for Walmart's. He uses this site called Field Nation. You should go make an account on there for generators. So I go on there. I spend like 2 hours building up my account. Come to find out, not a single generator job is on there. But 2 weeks later, I get a call from an EV charging station company. They're like, hey, we see your resume. We want you to help work on these. And dude, I've made $18K in a month doing that stuff for them. It's been life-changing in that sense where it's brought a ridiculous amount of work to me. And I would have never known about it had I not just given it a chance and trying it, So always try as much things as you can, man. Get involved in a bunch of stuff. Put your name out there. Join the forums. Join the different social platforms. Next door neighbor, home advisor. You want to at least have your business on all of those things.
So have you done well on like Nextdoor and some of those other?
I don't pay for advertising. That's another thing. I do not pay at all for advertising. And I get calls. I really think it's because my business name is part of what people are searching and no other company.
So you don't pay. So you don't actually pay for Google pay-per-clicks.
None.
Your name pops up organically because you put in portable generators and portable generators pops up.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. And do you get a lot of people that reach out to you just in general on like, you said TikTok, but do you have like do you ever post anything on like Marketplace or like,
That's a really good point too. My buddy got me on this. So I'll go on Facebook Marketplace in, let's say, list an RV generator, but instead of selling the generator, I make a listing selling the service. I say, hey, if you got or need a generator, I can repair it for you. And I've had people find me through that just on Facebook Marketplace by making listings, but giving my business info, I find a lot of people just find me either through word of mouth or through like Nextdoor. I'll go on Nextdoor and make a post. People reach out from that.
Are you involved in any like networking groups? Do you go out to like any of these Chamber of Commerce stuff?
Yeah.
Wow. It's all social media.
All of it, man. All of it. Every day I try and post.
Yeah. And like, what's the referral rate? Like how many referrals do you get from existing customers who you've already seen before? Do you get a lot of calls from them and they're like, oh, my buddy Bob used you?
Yes. I get a lot of calls where people are like, hey, I had a neighbor that recommended you, or my buddy John told me to call you, yada, yada. Dude, so I get a call and the caller ID shows Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I answer, I'm like, dude, I haven't done shit in years, bro. They're like, are you a generator company? I'm like, yeah, yes. How can I help you? Like, just being on the social media platforms. And I asked them, how did you find me? And they were like, oh, we went on Google and typed in portable or generator repair. It was a mobile diesel unit. And we filtered by reviews, top rated reviews. Reviews are so important, man. That is literally the one thing that has gotten me a lot of jobs also.
But why did the FBI call you?
Because they were searching for a company that could come that day, and they just found me, and I was like, I got it.
Wait, hold on. The FBI needed servicing of their mobile generators.
So the FBI building of Margate down here,
Yeah.
you know, the fleet manager at the FBI building called me and found my business by doing a search on Google and then filtering by reviews. And we're like, dude, you've got a ridiculous amount of reviews. And that's another thing in the generator industry. All of the main companies are slacking so hard with their reviews. So if you got 50 reviews, you're already doing good, man. So that was my main focus, was getting reviews. And it's such an easy way. Every job you go to, I have a link. I was listening to one of your videos. You were talking to a buddy, and he was like, oh, we've got a QR badge or something. And then they ask about that. You know, I kind of do the route where you can get a Google business link and just text it to the customer. They click it, and the first thing that appears is 1 through 5 stars. And I'm standing there, they're happy, the generator's fixed. I'm like, can you give me a review? It really helps my business out. You have like, it would be awesome. Boom. And that's it. And the reviews, I truly believe single-handedly have gotten me the amount of customers and work that I've gotten is just by building up the reviews. Now I do see in the HVAC industry, all of the HVAC companies have like 900 reviews, and they kind of know that game. The generator industry, not so much.
What would you say the percentage of people in your area that have some sort of generator, whether it's portable, permanent, whatever?
Definitely 80%.
Wow.
I mean, because think about this. I've had customers where they were like, oh, when Wilma hit us, FEMA was buying customers' generators. So like we were getting free generators that they've held on to.
So there's just neighborhoods with like lines of generators out into the driveway. That's bonkers. Yeah. What would you say the percentage of? So do you get called for whole house generators too?
All the time. I get calls for everything, honestly. So my name's Portable.
So when you, not to interrupt you, so when you get called for, so your name's Portable Generators, but people will call you for whole house generators, which you know how to work on because you've, right? Okay. So what percentage would you say you're getting called out to whole house generators?
Only probably 25% of the people that call are whole house generators.
And what percentage of people that you think, like in a given neighborhood, let's just say in your area, that have generators have a permanent generator versus a portable generator?
Honestly, it might be like 60% have a permanent and then 40 might have a portable. They're pretty popular down here.
Wow. 60% of your clientele base have permanent generators, 40%. So I would have thought that's reversed. I would have thought that there'd be way more people with a portable generator than a permanent generator. But you're saying in your area, you got a lot of old people, right? And it's tons of just whole house solutions. You're in Pompano Beach. How far are you from, what is it, Deerfield Beach right there?
Deerfield is literally 10 minutes away.
Right.
But let me just correct that. The amount of people that have standby units might be 60%. I might not be taking care of those units, but if you were to go into a neighborhood, 60% of the people will have standbys all installed at their house, I would say. Just from getting hit the past, 15 years ago, they went on a crazy install spree. And then you've got the others that all have the portables, and no one, like I said, no one works on them. So if you get a tech that you're paying as a helper.
Why I know no one works on them? Because we field like let's just say this last like couple of months, we literally fielded, I'm talking RV and portables, hundreds of inquiries, and no one works on them.
RVs make a lot of money, man. I'm telling you. I mean, you call Cummins and act like you have an RV, and you ask them how much for an oil change, like a service, $700-800. There's only like 2 quarts of oil in the machine. There's 2 spark plugs, if that, like it's really not a lot of money.
Supply and demand, man.
Yeah.
The less people know how to do something, right?
Exactly.
But you've educated yourself on how to do all that stuff. It's rare. You got a lot of knowledge, man, and you've got something really special going. I think you got something special, and once you get situated with your house and then whatever else you got to do, man, I love seeing people win, and I love to see people who have an entrepreneurial spirit. And so I'm very interested in your success. I'm vested now.
Appreciate it.
And I want to see you succeed so much that I want you to have however many techs on the road, and figure out, the processes that you're going to need in your business to like properly scale it, in a way that makes sense for you and you feel comfortable and good about it, and keeps the spirit and integrity of what you're trying to do and how you're helping people, and just keeps that alive and bakes it in. Because if you're telling me in your tiny little world right there that 60% of people have generators, or 80% of people have generators, and 80% of people, you've got what, like 5 million people within 100 miles of you, 3 million, 4 million people within 100 miles of you, 200 miles of you, whatever it is. That's a lot of people to service, so, yeah, but you got, one foot in front of the other.
Have you heard of Uphold before? Or it's called Upside. It's a gas app.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, you got to get on that and give it to your buddies. Upside. So, especially if you have a gas card through a company, if you use that app, for every gallon you fill up, you can get 20 cents back, 30 cents back, unlimited.
Oh, my buddy signed up for this.
Dude, I've got 200 people signed up under me. I've made $1,300 just from people filling up, and they're super happy about it. They're making $500 a year. You can get a direct deposit, gift cards. It's amazing.
Is it any gas station, or
no? You got to use their app, and it's kind of like a Google Maps, and it shows you the gas stations that they use.
Well, I could promise you this: Costco does not participate in this. I have calculated that I probably spend, and I'm getting this savings. I'm just not doing it. So I've actually bought gas. There's a gas station across from my Costco, and I've actually bought gas at the Costco, and the gas station was 30 cents more a gallon. Think about that. I get an extra like 2 gallons free. Yeah, is the differential, right? So like you start adding it up over the course of a year. At an average of $6, $7, $8 a fill up, you start adding that up, and in some cases it's even more. But I get it. There's lots of ways, and you can't always do that because sometimes you're on the road. You can't find a Costco everywhere, right? You're on the road. You got to stop for gas. But my buddy actually signed up for Upside, and he was talking about the same thing, that he's saving all this money. So. Dude, very cool. Little tips, man. You're a very helpful guy. I really appreciate you coming on, man. For sure. Before we land the plane here, what else? Is there any other nuggets of information you wanna share with us? Anything you'd like to talk about?
Just if you want to start your own business, I'm not a millionaire. I will be a millionaire. I'm not yet, but don't just quit your job and try and start a business. Start getting a hang of things, build your name up, start trying to get reviews, and then jump ship. People leave their company and they take out a loan and they try and do all this stuff, and they have no way of getting customers yet. Take it slow, and transition is kind of what I recommend. That's kind of what I did. But other than that, just, learn as much as you can. And if you want to own your own business, you can do it for sure. If I can do it, anyone can.
I think you're right. And one thing, I think a good point here is you offer a service that not many people do, if really kind of nobody, right?
True.
Nobody's doing. So you have a very unique niche, which in and of itself is brilliant. because you're solving a problem that most people can't solve. So your competition is nil.
None.
It's very little, right? Which actually means you could probably charge a little bit more. You're right. So it's like,
Yep.
like, you know what I mean? Like there's always, and I'm just saying, like, laws of supply and demand. So you have a bank of knowledge that nobody has, right? You know, it's funny. You talk a lot about these comparisons with doctors. You know, they talk about how like, oh man, I go into my, specialist and I walk out and it's like a $80 copay and then it's $500 just for the consult or whatever. And it's like, yeah, bro. Well, this guy's going to operate on you. And he's, one of like, 12 people in the world or whatever that can do this. So,
Exactly.
your time is worth something. And you have a special set of knowledge and that's worth something. Dude, I want to really thank you for coming on. I thank you for reaching out. I thought this is kind of nice and cool. And
Cool.
I do appreciate you, dude. And
Awesome.
rock and roll, brother. All right, man.
Thank
Until
you,
next
man.
time. Yep. I'm gonna hit you off here real quick. So I got a couple of interesting, thanks Brian so much for coming on. I got some guests coming up, really interesting guests. I got, and I'm not confirmed the date, but Gene Slade's coming on. That's going to be interesting. He's going to be rocking and rolling. I got Billy the Door Guy. Billy the Door Guy's coming on. Some of you guys know him. I got Seth Uri coming on as well. And then I got a couple other people in that pipe. So very cool. Really appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next week.